What's going on, Phoenicians? Today is a very special day. You wanna know why? Because 5 years ago today, I stepped off of one of these very buses and entered Japan for the first time right here in Shinjuku. Right? Here's Shinjuku Station for the KO line. July 6th, 2011 was my first ever trip to Japan. I remember vividly to this day, 5 years ago, right? Just how confused I was when I walked from there to try to find my hotel, which was that way, over that way, right? So just the whole confusion, just trying to figure out where I was going. I missed that. That was a lot of fun. But my first trip to Japan, my first experience in Japan, is right here in Shinjuku. So we're gonna relive, well, basically it took me, I don't know how long it took me to get to my hotel, which is that red brick building, not gray, right? That red brick building right there. The Prince Hotel Shinjuku, right? It took me 25 minutes to get from there to there. And I also took a taxi, because I had no idea how to get there. Right? I went over to this map right here. See, here's the hotel. Here's where we're at. I didn't know how to read that. How much I've changed when it comes to my knowledge of Japan, huh? So let's walk over to the hotel and I'll take you guys to the place that I had my first ever meal in Japan. For the first time. Like my first ever meal in Japan. I remember going into this Uniqlo because I didn't have any undershirts and I was sweating like all hell. So I picked up an undershirt in here. And this right here, the Omoide Yokocho right here, right? I remember, I was like, what the hell does that sign mean? I can't read it. Here it is, right here. The Seibu Prince Shinjuku Hotel. Impressive, right? That hotel Gracery right here, that wasn't even a thought when I was here 5 years ago for the first time. The O-Guard, as they call it, the big girder bridge. That used to be a nice building, but that was torn down. So this whole area has just changed so much in 5 years. It's quite crazy if you ask me. This thing has mostly remained the same, this tunnel here, except the art's usually changing rather quickly. That is not, okay, that's creepy. Right here is, well, basically the entrance to Kabukicho. This McDonald's here, that place was torn down and replaced, right? But this here pachinko parlor's been the same. Right here, the Seibu Prince Shinjuku Hotel. Incredible, right? So my first ever meal in Japan was from this hotel over here. I'm basically retracing my steps from 5 years ago. Back across the street and to the Coco Ichiban curry, which is sort of a meme right now with a lot of YouTubers because of Simon and Martina's particular affinity to Coco Ichi, right? So that's where I had my first meal. This tunnel's quite loud. Most of this over here hasn't changed that much. These ticket resale shops. Had no idea what these were when I first came here. Daikokuya's been here, and then here it is. Right here. The very first place I've had a meal at in Japan, and I had, what did I have? The menu's changed a little bit since then. I think I had this. Katsu kare. Just like 5 years ago. Still smells the same. I don't think this has ever changed over the years. This is really, really good, isn't it? Job well done. 5 years later. That was delicious. Now it's time to make a walk that I've did countless times during my first trip to Japan. And that's up this here hill in the Shinjuku station. Now I remember, this was very vivid memories for me. Just the confusion of trying to get a ticket to go on the train. And the sheer level of intimidation I had at riding the trains. I also remember how hot it was. I mean, today's kind of a warm day. It's a little bit muggy, but it wasn't nearly as hot as it was 5 years ago, and I was just drenched in sweat. Confused as hell. It's like, how the hell do I ride the train? Where am I going? My first ever train ride was on the Yamanote line down to Harajuku. Oh boy, was that memorable. I'll show you what I did. Right over here, there's a JR ticket office. And this is just for today's ticket, right? And I walked up to this window right here. And I told them I wanted to go to Harajuku, and I paid them some coins. And then they handed me a little tiny paper ticket, which I then took it to there, searched around for which direction on the Yamanote line I had to go to. A few days later, I came back here to this very office, and I got something very special that I still have with me today, surprisingly enough. This Suica. I've had this Suica since I came here to Japan 5 years ago, right? Now, obviously, these markings are different. Like, this is when I, get my student pass, the markings are on there, but like, this thing has been abused a lot. And I am just, this is like one of the first things from Japan I've ever gotten. And this has served me for 5 years, right? So instead of getting a paper ticket from over here at this building now, what I do is I go over here. Well, these LEDs are different, by the way. Simply just go into the west entrance. There we go. Easy, right? And then right here, platform 14. The line towards Shibuya, Harajuku. Right? How quickly one learns how to use something when they're kind of thrown into the fire, right? Oh, time to get on the train. Hope you guys enjoyed this trip down memory lane. See y'all later. Ladies and gentlemen.